Okay, so I think my next step is going to be, I'm going to stop collaging at this point, and I may come back and add more elements, but I'd like to start adding in some of my colors, and I think I'm going to be able to go back then with white paint, similar to what Dominique does, and then kind of further edit and take away some of the color. Because again, this is a pretty intense color palette. And I'm not actually one of those people that does super, super bright color palettes typically. So I'm trying to keep that in mind. I want the color palette to come through, but I don't want it to be, you know, overpowering. This is a pretty unique set of colors, which is really fun to work with actually. I've got this. So the colors that I'm using here, let me tell you real quick, are, again, they're all Martha Stewart paints. I've got this teal, it's called Mermaid Teal. I've got a blue named Pool, a deep red called Chipotle, a kind of peachy orange that is called Wild Salmon, and the neutral I'm using is called Summer Linen, and it's kind of a warm white, kind of a creamy color. So this is all dry. So typically the way that I start is that I'll just start rubbing paint on. And anyone that's seen me work before with my art journaling knows that I do this. It's kind of a way for me to connect with the piece and just kind of feel it out a little bit, kind of kinetically. It's not a bad idea to have some wax paper that you can put into your book so that you don't work on the other pages. Sometimes it can get a little crazy and you may not want to have that interfere with your other pages. So again, I'm being pretty, you know, random, not overthinking where I'm putting the color, knowing that I can edit and take away and add where I want to. So again, don't spoil this for yourself. Allow yourself to have fun and to relax and to just enjoy the different colors and the experience of putting them on your page. Now this red is pretty intense, and I'm trying to think of where I want it. I think I want it mostly on her dress here, or this area. So again, I'm going to be able to change this as I go, paint over parts that I don't want, but I think this is where I'm being drawn to have this color. You can see it rubs over the napkins quite beautifully. You can still see the text through it, which is kind of cool. And the reason I use my fingers a lot is because I love the effect. I love the effect you can get. You get these really soft blends that are actually kind of hard to achieve with a brush. And I feel like it's more of a tactile experience for me, and I really like that. Think about having little unexpected patches of color that you wouldn't expect to see there. You can actually start editing a little bit with this white color. Start to maybe soften some of the edges of the collage papers. Remember that you can change anything you want, so don't get hung up. I want you to push yourself. If you're feeling uncomfortable because you haven't ever worked this way before, that's a good thing. That means you're learning. So kind of embrace it. Don't be scared of that feeling of discomfort. It's something you feel when you grow. So take it as a sign of actually you're going in the right direction. It takes a little while to get used to it, but if we can start observing these emotions and not allowing them to control us, we're going to be able to do a lot more things with our art without all the fear that can sometimes stop us in our tracks, often right before we're about to have a breakthrough or discover something new. I actually feel like this bird is too busy, so I'm going to go over him. Again, I didn't think too much on that. I just, just take your instincts, listen to them. Something feels a little off, go over it, change it. Don't think about it. I want this crow to be much more important, and I think by taking away that bird, it becomes more a focal point. Okay, right now I am getting the feeling that I want to add a little more writing in on this side because I've got some over here. So I'm gonna pull a little bit of this writing. Again, it's that listening to your instincts, and when you're feeling drawn to do something, you just go ahead and do it. Before that left brain can get in there and sabotage you and get you all freaked out. Just go with your instincts. So I just want a little bit. Go. Get a little more matte medium out. So you can see by having the color palette that I'm able to work quickly and freely with little hesitation. And that's what's so great about having a color palette that you're working with. You can just keep moving and not be worried that you're going to choose a color that's not going to work, or you can't match the color that you mixed. That's another reason that it's so fun to use these craft paints, because they're just right there. You squeeze them out and you're ready to go. And I think when you're trying to create intuitively and actively like this, it's nice to not have to go and mix up another batch of paint or any of that. So I like that. I'm going to dry it. Okay, so I took a picture with my phone, and I can see that I actually want some more of this green over here. So I'm going to go ahead and add it in. And what that green is actually doing, or this turquoise is actually doing, is because we have it over here, and now we have it over here, your eye's staying in the spread, it's staying in the design. So you're focusing on here, and because it was open before, your eye could kind of wander off, but now it stays here and then moves up here, and then the crow actually directs you back down to this space. So think about those things too when you're creating a spread, that you want to have some of those compositional elements that keep the eye moving and, you know, staying within the composition.